Hello, and welcome to another ConnectedMinds.ai podcast. I hope all of you are doing well and are safe. So, in the last podcast, I spoke about depression and how people who are suffering from depression feel, to give you an insight into their minds and learn how you can be there for them. Moving forward on that, today I will talk about some things that people with depression want you to know. Depression is an isolating experience for many, and the unfair stigma associated with talking about it can also inhibit them from seeking the support and treatment they need. If you haven't experienced depression firsthand, noticing changes in your loved one's behavior, not to mention offering some practical advice, can be extremely difficult. With all the stigma surrounding mental illness and depression, it can be tough to live with it and to communicate to others what it is like. So here are a few things people with depression want you to know. 1. We can't just snap out of it. You can't just snap out of depression. It's impossible. I describe depression as feeling like drowning. No matter how hard you try to fight back, it overpowers you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Depression is our constant battle, and it is very exhausting. 2. We don't always have a reason as to why we're feeling depressed. This is something I've noticed others find hard to understand. To someone who hasn't ever experienced depression, it can be easy to assume that it's caused by an event in someone's life. Depression can be triggered by life events such as bereavement or losing your job, but there doesn't always have to be a reason as to why someone is depressed. 3. I don't want to hurt you. Depression is a very selfish illness, and often we can push people away in order to protect them. With depression, we feel guilt and a fear of letting people down. We may take things personally or say something that is horrible, but we don't mean it. I know that it can be hard to love and care for someone with depression, but standing by them and showing them unconditional love and care is one of the best things you can ever do for them. 4. Depression and being sad are not the same thing. Sadness is a normal emotion, but it always lifts after a few days. However, depression is a persistent sadness. It can last for weeks, months, or even years. It can affect you in various ways, such as changing your personality, interests, and the way you see the future. 5. Depression isn't a choice. We don't choose to be depressed. It affects our life, but we don't choose to be in a low mood all the time and find everything an effort. Depression is out of our control. We can't do anything to stop it from happening to us. We aren't weak because we have depression. 6. We can feel like a burden and that we're too much to deal with. Depression can cause us to feel like an inconvenience to others, leading us to become feeling isolated and finding it difficult to talk to you. We sometimes feel that we're too much to deal with and we're bringing people around us down. When we're feeling low, we avoid people around us in order to hide how we feel. This is when we need you to be compassionate and reassure your loved ones that they are not a burden to you. By letting them know that they can talk to you about how they are feeling, they can gain a sense of safety and support around us. 7. Achievements that you see as small are big to me. Achieving goals that we set for ourselves makes us feel proud. Other people's goals may be to get high grades or get a job, but sometimes just getting out of bed or talking to someone about how we are feeling is an achievement. Be proud of us when we achieve these goals. These achievements bring us a step closer to recovery, and someday we will be able to achieve bigger things. But for now, it's about putting one foot in front of the other and achieving little things that give us a sense of accomplishment. 8. We can still have some good days. We aren't always having bad days. We can still have a good day. We can still have days that are hard, but we can also have days when we feel okay and able to do things. People think that depression is all about having bad days. Truth is, our moods fluctuate quite a lot, and on good days we can feel like we are in control and that we can achieve something. even just going out with a friend for a coffee. 9. We appreciate your kind words and how you're trying to help. It can be hard to know what to say and what to do to help. Sometimes offering kind words can be helpful, and we may not seem like we appreciate it, but we really do. It can be hard for us to show feelings of gratitude, but the kindness shown really does mean a lot to us. 10. We're trying our best to get through it. Depression is something that we have to work through. I've learned that recovery isn't something you choose once. You have to choose it over and over again. We can't just let go and ignore depression. It has to be treated appropriately by a medical professional. If we have to use therapy and/or medication as a way of working through our depression, please do stand by us. There's no shame in asking for help. Depression can make us feel isolated and lonely, and having someone by our side can make us feel less alone. I know even if I speak volumes on depression, it still won't be possible to understand or wrap your head around it. But I would end this podcast saying that just be there for your loved ones. Your support will mean the world for them even if they don't show it. They will carry it in their hearts forever. Thank you for listening to me. See you on my next podcast.